The Art of Commerce is a podcast featuring conversations on creativity and conversions. Hosted by Anish, a data-obsessed creative director, and Jinx, a growth-obsessed CMO. Listen on for actionable insights for the modern marketer.
All right, Jinx, OpenAI killed Sora yesterday on 23rd of March. The $1 billion Disney deal is dead, and I'm sure we have feelings about this, so let's get into it.
We got feelings, and this is Field Notes, and I am literally in the field today, on the go. This is awesome. And we had to, for everyone, we had to talk about this almost immediately. So that's why we're doing it on the go here. But I've been saying to people that have been pinging me all day, who've been asking me, hey, what's your take? What's your take? It's going to be out. I will promise you. And the other thing I say is I think Anish is in denial because he is the Sora master. So, that's what we got going on right now.
You won't believe what I did yesterday. I spent all my Sora credits on just generating videos of me crying over the news. And I'm going to be releasing them tomorrow with this episode.
Unbelievable. I expect nothing less. But so what do you got, Anish? What's your take? I mean, you're the expert. You're the creative guy amongst us. So where's your head at with all this?
Before we dive into our feelings, let's just take a look at the very short timeline of this product, right? September 2025, they launched the app, blew everyone's mind. Everyone was queuing to get a seat at the table. You and I, we were scrambling for access codes, and that is September 2025. 3 months later, in December, Disney wanted to sign a $1 billion deal with access to 200 characters and get most of their IP so people can create content, right? So September launch, December big investment, and 6 months later,
everyone's excited about the Disney thing. I mean, can you imagine? You get access to Marvel, Star Wars, this, that, and the other to do awesome videos. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and just 3 months later, or 6 months from the launch, Sam Altman said yesterday, we are killing it. We are not just killing the Sora app, but we are also going to move away from video generation as a whole, and that breaks my heart.
So we thought they were basically doing all this to train a model, right? And so now they would charge for a super pro premium video app, and that doesn't seem to be the case. It's wild.
No, yeah, they're just backtracking out of it, and they want to follow the Anthropic model where they just solve for engineering problems instead of creative solutions like the video services promised.
Well, I wonder also if the correlation and timing with what they're doing with the DoD and all the Department of Defense contracts are playing into that. Like that's, there's a lot of stuff going on with OpenAI throughout the news, and it's hard to follow. But there's got to be a rationale and a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's also at stake is, Jinx, Sora became a big part of a lot of people's creative workflows, including ours at Bombay AI. Like Sora was our go-to pre-visualization tool. And suddenly with that going off, there's a big hole that needs to be filled.
Yeah, you showed me. I mean, we were trying to prototype and do some wires for people. And you said, hey, look, I can take Sora and this will dramatically cut down the time to concept, which is huge, especially when, we talk about it, although AI cuts costs, it costs real money and time. So versus spending your time doing the work, this gave you a really great way to prototype.
Yeah, I mean, there's other tools, and let's actually talk about it. So, it's like 2 weeks ago, I literally finished my one of my video products, which is Candid Clips, which uses the Sora API to create ads from just a product image, right?
Yeah.
Great promise, great speed to market, just great output. And suddenly awesome. I'm like, oh my God, Sora's dead. What do I do now?
What do you do now? I mean, that's okay. I mean, that's what's wild. It'll be interesting to see, and you're hipper to this than I am, but who fills the gap? Who fills the void? Because there's got to be somebody that takes up the mantle.
You know what this makes me think about, Jinx? It's like when your top performing player on the team suddenly leaves.
Yeah.
You have a void to fill. But that doesn't mean you change the whole engine. You've got workflows, you've got processes, you'll just swap that out with a Kling 2.6,
Yeah.
Kling 3.0, C-Gangs 2.0. There's
Yeah.
replacement models.
You know, in sports they call it next man up, and that's what you're talking about. You know,
Nice. Well said. And honestly, I think that's what's going to happen. Sora was super nice to use, very fast, great character consistency, decent output. But all of those workflows, including the product that I built, I will have to switch to Kling overnight. And if you can adapt to that, you're going to win.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, but it's people like you, right? We're talking about you know, it's tools, it's timing, it's taste, right? And that's why the human element's important, because hey, a tool just disappeared. What are you going to do? You know, you gotta rely on your best effort to find a new one. You know, so it's not the be all end all. We got to talk about it.
That's true. All right, Jinx, what do you think of this particular sentiment? I've been reading a lot of comments on Reddit and even online in different spaces. One perspective that stood out to me was Sora is actually a B2B product, and they just missed the boat by trying to make it a B2C product. Thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think you're right. And that's where I think they were just trying to train it on a B2C perspective to use for B2B, because we talked about prototyping, right? We talked about concepting. You have a great use case you did around how do you create product videos based on a simple photo that the Sora backend can enable. Like your prototype proved it. It is B2B. But I always thought, hey, they're giving it away for free to train the model. Again, like so many other things. And I guess I'm wrong, although, you know, in this world, what they say one day is maybe different the next, you know?
This is I'm wearing a cowboy hat because this is truly the wild, wild west era of AI, and we are living it every single day.
I'm jaywalking across the street because it's such a wild west here. This is unbelievable.
You're in New York, it's fine. Jaywalking is no big deal.
Yeah, you're right. It's not in San Francisco. Watch out, San Francisco. You can get arrested. What else you got? What else you got, Anish? What else? You know, again, I'm interested what you have from a creative perspective. Like, what are you going to use next? Like all the people that are like, Sora's dead. What do I use? What's your take?
No, one of the best things about being in this wild, wild west era is you got to learn how to use all tools. Like,
right.
Before I used to say that because a lot of tools were coming out every week and you just got to stay ahead of the curve. But now with ChatGPT or OpenAI killing Sora,
yeah,
we are also in a new reality where the tools that you use today may not be available tomorrow.
No.
Or they may get exponentially expensive, or they might be like might get nerfed. You have to be adaptable. And I'm gonna personally move to Kling 3.0 now until ByteDance will allow me to access C-Gangs from America, which might take some time.
Okay, well, now ByteDance has the American owner, so we'll see how that all plays out. But
that's a good point too.
Yeah. So, but Kling, okay, so folks, you know, Anish, put the link in here. Show them what you're working with. You know, everybody relies on you to tell us what's cool. I certainly do. So, you know, you'll tell me the next phase. But
speaking of, I think let's speculate about what do you think is coming next. And also, with this very knee-jerk-ish reaction from OpenAI, do you think this approach of just killing things which are not working, or OpenAI actually calls it the focus era, do you think this might happen to other tools too? What's the word on the street?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest example of this is, guess who just killed the biggest AI type project that they had? In fact, they renamed their company for it.
Wait, tell me about it. I'm out of the loop.
Oh, you got to use your Google, my friend. They or ChatGPT. They have announced the metaverse is dead. All the work they were doing around like virtual spaces and community and all that's all been shelved. And they're reinvesting that capital elsewhere. And it's because in that case, it just wasn't that successful, you know, and now they're figuring out, and look, they may have trained the model, and now the meta shades and all that are going to be better because of it. Like, just sure. But that initial view of, hey, we live in a metaverse and all this stuff it's gone. And so, you know, that's a high profile example of people saying, look, we're going to fail. You know, the old model was, we're going to fail fast. This is like, we're going to take a huge bet and then be wrong, but also acknowledge it fast and use the capital elsewhere. Because I think, you know, again, you know, capital is hard to come by in this market. We see it when we talk to startup founders. That's why private equity kind of runs the show. So if you have captive capital, then you're going to use it to reinvest in your business and likely your core businesses, which Tomato would be ads and other things that are data collectors, right? Not a metaverse that you have to convince someone to get, right? So that might be there. But I say, from OpenAI's perspective, I'm a little shocked, that they would put a focus area, which is why on this, because honestly, it didn't seem like they were investing that much capital in it. It seemed like they could learn a lot and train a lot of models on a lot of things. But again, if they're, and again, this is all speculation, but if they're working with the government and they need to do some surveillance timeless things, then I think it might trip some wires to do some live video type things. That could be it. Well, I don't know.
Honestly, I hadn't considered the whole government implications, but you're right, man. Like, maybe, this the video engine might stay on in another form. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. So again, watch what you put out there too, right? Like we always say it. You know what I mean? So, but it'll be interesting. And I think the real thing is the Disney thing. This was not a strategic decision that they thought about a year ago or whatever, 6 months ago, right? 3 months ago. They made this deal with Disney. It's huge. It was big. It was announced. It was a press release. It was massive. And to then just pull the rug on Disney. Disney's pissed. They're out. That's wild. That to me
I was actually of the opinion that OpenAI killed Sora because Disney pulled out. It's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
Disney pulled out first. Oh, sorry. Sora killed the app first and then Disney pulled out.
Mm-hmm. You got it right. So that's what leads me to believe this is that you have to look at recent events or potentially future events that we don't know about quite yet to explain this. Because it was not a strategic decision 6 months ago. We're going to release an app and then we'll pull it back. They would have never done the Disney deal. Or if they did, they would have done something much more quickly and it'd have been a limited time kind of thing. Like it's a limited time Labubu, their version of a Labubu.
Man, honestly, Jinx, Sora was the best thing personally that happened in the Gen AI space for video creators. I'm heartbroken.
Yeah. I know you are. I told you you're in denial. I'm just glad you said Sora wasn't the best thing that happened to you because I was getting a little worried about you. And I was getting a little worried about where that comment was going. I'll be honest, but no, you're right. No, it was great. I mean, it's such an easy entry point, even for someone like me that's not, it's like I think about the time you showed me Mid-Journey, and then it was an easy entry point for me, and then that was Sora, same. I mean, I can't tell you how much dinner conversation I would have, some work dinners or whatever, and we'd be making Sora. It's like, unbelievable the way it democratized AI video. Unbelievable.
Yeah. But when you look at the numbers, though, it makes a lot of sense. I was just running some numbers before we hopped on this recording. Sora, the app, just had a 1% user retention rate, which means for people who don't know what a retention rate is, if 100 people downloaded the app, only one of those 100 people actually continued the app over the next few weeks.
That's wild.
So that might be, yeah. Also, video compute is expensive. Like, they were selling those videos for, I think, about $1.50 for 12 seconds, approximately. That's super cheap. They were compensating people to use the tool, but I'm sure it's not profitable.
No, you're right. And so, again, maybe there's just a simple fact of what Meta did and said, we're not profitable, let's kill it. That being said, how much was Disney about to invest in? Right? Like,
That's true.
So,
but I don't necessarily, like, if you are in the video creation space, if you are in the creative art space, I wouldn't be discouraged. Because there's a lot more tools coming out. China's killing it. Google Veo 4 might come out one of these days. The models will keep getting better. It's actually good that maybe, video does end up becoming a B2B thing, so all the fake news and the AI slop might go down and, in the hands of the right people.
Hopefully that misinformation.
This is still a good time to be. This is still a good time to be in the video creation space. Just, move on from Sora onto the next thing.
Well, I'm glad you're optimistic. See, we went through all the phases of grief in this field notes. Denial, whatever, anger,
avoidance, sorrow,
depression. And now we're at acceptance. We've come to the end of the field notes.
Stage six of sadness is actually Kling 3.0. Link in the description.
There you go. Well, Well, what else you got, Anish? Because I got to get to where I'm going. These guys got to get to where they're going. So what's the final takeaway now that we've reached acceptance on the field notes?
The final takeaway is, do not freak out. Yes, mourn the loss of your favorite tool if it was your favorite tool. But on to the next, man. Things are changing every week. Keep creating. We are not stopping. You shouldn't stop. Keep doing what you do.
And that's why we're humans, for the taste, the tool, and the taste, the timing, and the tools, man. And so this is the tool. This is just the tool. So we'll figure out a new one, man.
Well said. All right, Jinx. Thanks for hopping on to the next thing you're gonna kick butt at.
Now I'm back on the move. All right, guys. We'll see you next week for another episode where we're in the studio for real.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
This is The Art of Commerce, featuring conversations on creativity and conversions. If you found value in today's episode, follow the show, leave a review, and stay tuned for more insights for the minds reshaping modern marketing.